conversation going on, we've all had those moments sitting with my then boss, John Heaney, and I'm thinking a thought and kind of zoning out of the meeting, wondering whether John will laugh at me if I say it, because I didn't want him to laugh at me. It was only 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was, into my employment with Kirkwood at the time. But finally, I think, spur of the moment, more than anything else, I just leaned over and I whispered in John Heaney's ear, why don't we just build our own hotel? Rather than laugh, John Heaney turned and he looked at me and he said, that's an interesting idea. John took it wherever he took it from there. Mick Starcevich was about to become the president of Kirkwood Community College, and they liked the idea. Well, there were some common threads among the visits. There were about 3 big topics. The biggest topic was what the schools called integration, what we now call integration. How do you involve the students in the operation of the hotel? Another of the big topics was, let's call it direction. Who was going to be in charge of the hotel, and that really spoke to the issue of how would the hotel actually be used. And then the third big topic had to do with what the financial expectations of the hotel might be. Was it expected to flow cash beyond, in our case, paying off our debt, or was it expected basically to break even, that is to say, paying off its debt? There were few surprises when you consider all of the issues that we had to consider, had to throw into the mix when we were putting together changes in all 3 curricula, when we were designing the hotel, when we were designing the staffing plan for the hotel. There really were not a lot of surprises. However, particularly in the world of integration, how the students would fit into the operation of the hotel, I can see more clearly now why each of the hotels we visited told us that it was a challenge. And they're right, it is a challenge. For one thing, it's not easier, it is not more efficient for a professional to work alongside a student, for a student to work alongside the professional. We can't clean rooms more quickly and more efficiently, more cheaply, because we have students. It's more expensive to do all of that, because you're training while you're doing it.
OPN Architects of Cedar Rapids designed the facility and the space inside. Contractor bids went out and the low bid came in at $24.1 million. Construction started in September 2008 next to the already constructed Kirkwood Center for Continuing Education, which is now connected to the hotel and serves as a conference center. During the early phases of construction, student recruitment began to ramp up with the excitement of this new venture.
Eastern Iowa's largest city is home to one of the premier 2-year colleges in the country. Kirkwood Community College sits on the south side of Cedar Rapids, a growing, bustling city located in the state's technology corridor. People are already taking advantage of the more than 120 programs Kirkwood offers. So if you want to earn a degree in health careers or advanced industrial technology, or you simply wish to transfer to a 4-year school, Kirkwood's the place for you. Welcome to the Hospitality Arts program at Kirkwood Community College. Join the hundreds of students already working toward their careers in the ever-growing hospitality industry. If you have plans to be a pastry chef, sous chef, or head chef, Kirkwood's for you. But it's not just about putting together a great meal. Use your education to run a restaurant or hotel.
I'd love to be that restaurant manager who is mainly in the front of house, but when there's a chef that can't be there that night, I want to be able to walk on the line and be able to do what needs to be done on the line.
I love to decorate cakes and, wedding cakes and everything, so my passion is definitely cake decorating.
It all comes together in the student-operated Class Act restaurant. They work alongside top hospitality professionals to serve meals during the week and create special dinners for the public. As a hospitality student, you can take a leadership role in planning, preparing, and serving catered events. Not a bad looking classroom, is it?
Real life. They come and they want an experience, and most people, they know that we're students, but they don't come in thinking of students. They're thinking that they're going to have a great time.
It's hands-on. It's labs, it's cooking, it's running a restaurant, it's real. And it's not sitting in a classroom every day listening to a teacher talk. It's exciting stuff.
The main classroom is on campus, but the walls come down for this global experience. If you want to stay in North America, try Canada or Walt Disney World. If you're thinking globally, study abroad in France, Japan, or Italy. But then again, you can learn those styles right here at Kirkwood from world-class instructors.
Chef David, if I have any questions on ethnic cuisines or anything like that, he'll be the guy I go to. Or say Mel, if I have any questions on like restaurants.
They come from all sorts of different backgrounds, and they've done, all sorts of different things, from hotels to restaurants to, catering and baking, and just you get a little bit of everything.
One of our main professors teaches us. He barely teaches out of the book. He teaches us all by his life experience.
Not convinced yet?
Basically the exact same stuff you're learning here that you would, in Chicago or anywhere else, but just a lot cheaper and a lot closer.
The hospitality program will open the doors to unlimited possibilities for graduates.
Resorts, casinos, hotels that have big convention centers.
You could start here in culinary arts, and if you wish, you can transfer out to a larger culinary school to finish a 4-year degree, or you can get a job in a restaurant.
I think it'd be great to go to a bigger city and see something that they can offer that they don't offer here.
Transfer to a 4-year school, to get my food science degree, and maybe work in a test kitchen, trying out new recipes.
Sound like a good future to you? Take a look at the future of Kirkwood's hospitality arts program. This will become the hotel at Kirkwood Center. To the public, it's an elegant upscale hotel. To students, a world-class learning laboratory. Take your schooling directly into the real world with the hotel at Kirkwood Center. Students will work in the $24 million hotel and gain experience other colleges only dream of offering.
Combine the new facility with the concept of the experience, and you have something that nobody can touch.
I could go to some highly acclaimed, 5-star restaurant and give my resume and feel confident that I'd be able to get that job.
I would do this all over again for even more expensive. It's a great program for the amount of money you pay.
A student who goes through this full-service experience in a hotel of this caliber is going to be able to translate that experience into virtually any hotel in North America.
So, if you think a 90,000 square foot classroom is a pretty cool idea, check us out. Take the first step to that career you've always wanted. Come to Kirkwood Community College, where you really can start here and go anywhere.
As the building was starting to take shape, so was the dream. Years of planning and hard work were showing on the south side of campus for what was sure to be a top-notch teaching facility.
The skills that they are taught here and the equipment that they use here are the skills and the equipment that they will use in the kitchens for the hotel, whether we're preparing a banquet or a meal for somebody in the restaurant. Our students will be involved in all aspects of the hotel. So guests will encounter students every day, every time of day. And I hope that it will be something attractive to our guests. I see it as a marketing tool, to tell you the truth. The lab itself, I think, will be attractive to the guests who stay here.
We found it very exciting, to have that open kitchen, see into that space, see that action.
One of the things we were trying to achieve in this space was different types of seating that our graduates will encounter in the real world. So here we have bar height seating. There we have banquettes. Over there we have booths. And then we also have tables and chairs.
The size of the auditorium is actually from the back wall to this set of columns in here.
We'll be able to bring 100 students or 100 guests or whoever it is into this space and give them the opportunity to watch a qualified, bona fide executive chef, talented chef, do his or her thing, and bring in a winemaker to do the same thing. When we designed it for the purpose of wine tasting as well, we actually left space between the rows of chairs so that we can go through the room and serve and clear wine. Pretty sporty.
There's a big curve up on the ceiling then as well, and that curve has 4 large plasma screens that'll actually do all the presentation work. Video cameras that the professors can use then, and there'll be monitors within the kitchens then that the students can be at their stations, the professor can demonstrate at the island, and they can watch on the monitors what he or she is doing.
They're paired up, they don't have their own set of equipment, but you got 2 students using a 6-burner range, that's what it amounts to. And that's so far above what we have now, there's really no comparison. This is as good as it gets. This is neat stuff.
We'll be one of the first in the country, a hood like this. Our kitchen consultant that we had on board, if you know typical hoods, they hang down from ceilings, so you're catching all that volume of air, and it'll just look like a stainless steel ceiling. I mean, it's going to be clean, you won't know it's there, but it'll function exactly how you need it to function. This gives us a real look at what the building exterior is going to look like, the actual finished product. We did a lot of sleek contemporary detailing on this building, and that's just one of them, like for the windows. So walk out into the gardens. This crew behind us here, they're a well drilling crew, and they're drilling actually the wells out on site that'll be part of the geothermal system. What we're doing is we're running a pipe in the ground and running a fluid through it, and that fluid will come in, whether we're heating or cooling, it'll do the opposite. It's either taking heat out of the ground or cooling out of the ground. It's free. The ground's just there all the time like that once you get under that 4 feet of frost.
The construction of the building was completed in November 2009. Finishing and furnishing began at this time, with china, glass, silver, and linen arriving at the hotel in May 2010. 4 semis were required to transport the more than 125 pallets.
On July 26th, 2010, we gathered as a group of hoteliers, 7 of us. We met over in the boardroom and took an assessment of where we were. We'd operated that week in a training mode. We hadn't accepted any customers. We were working very hard to open the hotel softly. The last thing that we wanted to have happen was to open full. I've done it, and it's no fun for anybody. So we'd been training about 3 days, I think. And as I said, we met. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, and I went around the table and asked each of the department heads if they were ready and if they would recommend we open the doors. And it was 50-50. 3 of them said yes and 3 of them said no. So I said, okay, we'll open. We didn't tell a soul. The only thing we did of any significance, I guess, other significance at that point, was we took the key. I walked out into the front where there was no grass at that time, because that part of the lawn had not yet been sodded, and we buried the key. I don't think I could find it today. I could walk to the general area, but that's the tradition in the hotel business, because the symbolic act is you'll never lock the door again. We're open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So then we went about our business. At least half of us keeping our fingers crossed, hoping we wouldn't get any business, and the other half keeping our fingers crossed because we hoped we would get business. At about, I don't know, 9 o'clock at night maybe, it was just about dark, we had a couple from Kirkwood, as it turned out, walk in the front door and look around, wondered what the heck they were getting into, but found the front desk, walked up and rented a room. They owned a farm near Kirkwood, and they were in Cedar Rapids for a conference, and they were lost. So they stumbled across our hotel. We've never had a night where we had no occupants. That night we had 1 room sold.
The hotel held a magnificent grand opening party with hundreds of guests in attendance. The guests knew then how special the facility was. Then, in September of 2011, the hotel at Kirkwood Center officially joined Summit Hotels and Resorts. A month later, it became just the 2nd hotel in Iowa to earn a 4-diamond rating from AAA. From humble beginnings in 1972 with 12 students to today's 350, Kirkwood is preparing the next generation of professionals for exciting careers through practical experience in management and food preparation. Instructors supervise students in the daily operation of the bakery and catering service. The Class Act, a restaurant our students work in, features exquisite dining for the public, serving 21 meals a week. Students work alongside the 90 full-time staff members. They take classes from faculty members and the hotel's 14 salaried staff members, who are required to be adjunct professors as well. Students work towards 2-year Associate of Applied Science degrees in hotel management, restaurant management, and culinary arts. They can also earn a 1-year bakery diploma. Students typically spend about $5,000 a year going through our programs, which are so popular that we now have a waiting list to get into them. This facility is designed as much for the student experience as college and public guest options. It is built as a learning laboratory for students to be better prepared when they enter the professional hospitality industry. Students serve in many support roles to match their levels of progress through our programs. They fill roles of guest room attendant, concierge, kitchen staff, restaurant servers, supervisors, bellhops, and caterers. Kirkwood Community College Hospitality Arts graduates find work in everything from casual and fine dining restaurants to casinos and large food corporations. About 90% of them find work within 100 miles of Kirkwood, so this probably won't be the last time you see them. Once they leave our program, they will be even better prepared to enter the workforce. The Culinary and Bakery Labs host classes from 3 a.m. until 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. There are times when both labs are in full operation all day. Students in the hotel management program spend 600 hours involved in clinical operations within their 2-year curriculum. Culinary arts and restaurant management students spend 336 hours in the clinical environment during this period. These training hours occur in the Class Act, front desk, laundry, housekeeping, banquets, and catering on all service shifts. Instead of meeting twice a week for 16 weeks, students meet 5 days a week for 6 weeks. This immerses them in specific topics and allows for better continuity of content coverage. There are times when students are required to be in class on the weekend, as these are often the busiest times for the hotel's outlets. Featuring seasonal breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus, dining at the Class Act is a delicious, one-of-a-kind experience. The menus are designed differently, far more creatively, because of our teaching responsibility. Our guests have very high expectations for what is prepared here. Savor sweet treats, delicious wines, and fun cocktails at Micah, our full-service lobby bar. Micah, which is Finnish for beloved teacher, features pastries, snacks, and extensive wine list that includes varieties from the winery at Kirkwood. The Class Act was started in 1976 in Kirkwood's original building, Lynn Hall. It moved to a newer space in 2001, where it served 4 lunches a week. Now, in the hotel at Kirkwood Center, students work alongside the professional staff, preparing 21 meals a week. Since our opening, the Kirkwood Center has welcomed thousands of business people from different states and around the world. Companies large and small utilize the center's accommodations, ranging from a ballroom with standing capacity of 924 down to small classrooms for intensive sessions. The Kirkwood Center has also played host to numerous weddings and other social gatherings, as well as Kirkwood continuing education classes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center is open to the public 365 days a year, just like any other hotel. 71 luxury rooms, stylish European features, an extensive, completely original art collection of hand-blown glass, student, faculty, and local art. Every detail, floor to ceiling, was hand-chosen to create an amazing atmosphere for guests to enjoy. Keep in mind, the artwork in the glass case in the student space is always for sale. Did you notice our great fireplace when you came in? It's filled twice a day with denatured ethanol, at a cost of about $2.50 per gallon. It's put into a small, spill-proof container, then added to the burner. The fireplace probably wasn't the only thing to greet you as you came in. Our full-time staff of 90 is top-notch. While the teaching environment isn't for everyone in the industry, for many here, it's a privilege to be part of this unique atmosphere. We offer great pay and benefits on a different scale from the college's faculty and staff. Our employees, alongside our students, give guests an experience that can't be replicated.
There is no question that what we have built here is a first-class hotel. Anybody, you may have hotels you prefer, you may have hotels you think look nicer than what we have, but the reality is that you would have to drive to Chicago. That would be the closest market you could attend that would afford you the opportunity to find a nicer physical facility than what we have here. First-class hotel. This is a luxury property. It's a AAA 4-diamond property. It's one of 2 in the whole state of Iowa. And once you get to the 4th diamond, you're not only talking about the size of the bedroom, the size of the bathroom, whether or not you have a pool and a spa. You are beginning to talk about some subjective judgments, specifically service levels. So first-class hotel and absolutely a world-class laboratory. In 2012, there is nothing finer than what we have here in Cedar Rapids in terms of educating any students to prepare them to become leaders, future leaders of our industry. There is no finer facility. They're going to build one someday, but they haven't yet. How do I know? Because I went to look at it.